all the fun. That's number 1. Number 3. What's different than number 3?
They're bigger.
Right, it's all inside the square root. So what you do on this one is different. You do 9 plus 16 first, and then you square root it. Okay, so you do everything inside first. It's kind of like there's parentheses in there. So 9 plus 16 is
27?
25.
What?
And the square root of 25 is 5. Most of your calculators, you can plug this in. It would just take longer than actually just doing that. Number 5, multiple choice. Okay, so basically what they want us to do is square root of a plus square root of b. That was kind of like number 1 when we did square root of 9 plus square root of 16. And square root of a plus b was like number 3. Because we did 9 plus 16 square root of that. Does that make sense? This is like square root of a plus square root of b, number 1 was. And this one was like square root of a plus b, number 3 was. So which one is bigger? The square root of a plus square root of b is going to be bigger every time, it turns out. So that would be option
A.
A. Does that make sense? Because the answer to number 1 was bigger than the answer to number 3, then square root of a plus square root of b is bigger than square root of a plus b. So it's option A. Multiple choice, we don't get many of those. That's the last one we'll see for probably for a couple more months. Number 7, simplify if possible. Otherwise state not possible. Can we simplify square root of 3 plus square root of 6?
No.
Okay, again, if you have a nice calculator, it can kind of do this for you, but if the square roots are different, it's kind of like, can we simplify x plus y? No. You cannot add, unless they're like terms, you cannot add them together. So this number 7 does not simplify, so what do you write?
It's not possible.
Does not simplify.
Not possible.
I'm guessing we're not going to get a lot of those. Yeah. There's only one odd and one even that are not. Oh yeah, it does say not possible. You're right. Number 9, 2 square root of 5 plus square root of 5 minus 6 square root of 5. Okay, this is one of those problems. Yes, your calculator probably can do it. Most of your calculators. Actually, I don't think the TI-84s do. But the Casios mostly do. Anyway, but it would be quicker to probably just do this by hand. This is basically the same thing as like 2x plus x minus 6x. The square root of 5s are all like terms. So we can add all those terms together. What is 2x plus x minus 6x?
Negative 3x.
Negative 3x. So this is 2 plus 1 is 3 minus 6 is negative 3. So it's negative 3 square root of 5. Square root of 45 minus square root of 12 plus square root of 40. Okay, now these don't look like they could simplify, right? Because they're all different. But when we simplify each individual square root, we're going to find out that some of them actually can be added together. Yeah, some calculators can do this. I'll go ahead and do it by hand. So square root of 45 is 3 square root of 5. Square root of 12 is 2 square root of 3. And let's see, that'd be 9 and 20. Okay, on this one I have double 3 and a double 2. So basically on the outside I have 3 times 2. 6. And my leftover is 5. So now that I simplified each individual square root, this assignment is a lot easier with a nice calculator. I noticed that 2 of them are actually like terms. The outside 2. So 3 squared root of 5 plus 6 squared root of 5 is 9 squared root of 5. And then in the middle there we got minus 2 squared root of 3.
And we don't have to do any of this out, we just have to.
You can't do anything like that. Unless you change it to a decimal, they don't mix together.
Okay.
And we're not going to be changing to decimals today.
Are we gonna do that at all?
Oh, I don't know. If we do, it's a few problems because it's basically just plugging stuff in the calculator. Doesn't really do anything. 13. The reason they don't like to change it to decimals is because on decimals you always have to round off, so it's not a perfectly exact answer. If you just leave it like this, it is a perfect answer. 13. 6 squared root of 8 plus square root of 2. Did I copy that right? Alright. This one simplifies because it's got a double in there. So it would be 2 square root of 2, but since there's a 6 in front, it's really 6 times 2 square root of 2. This means 6 times square root of 8. So it becomes 6 times 2 times square root of 2. 6 times 2 is 12. And then square root of 2 just stays square root of 2. Can I simplify square root of 2? No, I can't. Too simple already. 32. I don't know, do you guys remember 32 from yesterday? We saw it a couple times. It was actually 2 to the 5th. You guys remember that? I'm going to cheat here. If you break it down, lots of 2's. So it's got a double 2 and a double 2 and a leftover 2. So 2 times 2 is 4. There's a 3 in front, so it's 3 times 4 is 12 with a leftover 2.
So it's square root.
So it's just square.
So we have, yes, 12 of these plus 1 of these is 13, minus 12 of these is back to 1 of them. So yes, it is just square root of 2. Negative 25, negative 49. What is the square root of negative 25?
Positive or minus?
5i.
5i. Okay, what you were thinking of, Josie,
Yeah, I realized that.
this kind of problem, which is a little bit different. You have to do the square root, but anytime you do the square root on that kind, it'll be plus or minus 5. So anyway, square root of 25 is 5, square root of negative 25 is 5i. You just turn the negative into an I. Minus, what?
7.
7i. And you can treat the I like a normal variable, like terms go together. 5i minus 7i is negative 2i.
Oh my gosh, I'm so smart.
Negative 20, negative 45. Alright, 20 is, okay, it's not quite as, kind of like this one, not quite as easy because that doesn't have a perfect square root. But it does simplify because it's got a double 2 in there. So this, instead of being 2 squared of 5, it's 2I squared of 5. We usually put the I right between the number and the square root. And then same thing on this one, that's 9 times 5, so it's 3I squared of 5. Okay, and because they're both I squared of 5s, they are like terms, so we can add them together. 2 of those plus 3 of those equals 5 of those. Two, negative 28, 3, negative 112. Ugh. Okay. Well, what goes into 27?
28, 7 and 4.
And so that will become 2 squared of 7. But there's a 2I squared of 7. But there's a 2 in front, so it's 2 times 2I squared of 7. 2 times 2 is 4. I squared of 7. Plus. So there's 2 double 2, so it's 2 times 2 is 4. So it's 4I squared of 7 times 3. 3 times 4 is 12I squared of 7. And we'll look at that. They're like terms again. 12 plus 4 is 16I squared of 7. Getting there, we're getting there. We're almost there. Simplify. Okay, the only you guys see what the difference is on these problems on 21?
Variables.
There's variables involved, which is not going to do too much, but let's see, 5x, 125x. Okay, can we simplify square root of 5x? No. Square root of 5, that doesn't simplify. There's no doubles or anything in it. Square root of x, that does not simplify. Can we simplify this one?
Yes.
Yeah, because you guys remember what went into
15.
it's 25 times 5, so it's 5 times 5 times 5. So this becomes 5 square root of 5. What am I going to do with that x? Nothing. Yeah,
Stay
leave
on
it.
the
It's
other.
going to stay in the square root. So I got square root of 5x on the front. I didn't do anything with that. Minus 5 square root of 5x. Okay. The square root of 5x makes these like terms. So this is kind of like one of them, right? So we got 1 of them minus 5 of them equals So your calculator can't do this completely, but it can still help. If you got a nice calculator, you plug in square root of 125, it will give you 5 square root of 5, and you would have to know that the x just stays in there, I guess. You'd have to do that part by yourself. So your calculator cannot handle the variables. So you have to kind of do that part by yourself. You can simplify square root of 125 to 5 square root of 5, but it can't really do the rest of it. Alright, 23. (32x squared minus x squared 2). Plus 18x squared. Okay. I think we did square root of 32 earlier. Anybody remember what that was?
G digit.
Yeah, but then what was it?
Oh, it was square root of 7.
4 square root of 2, yeah.
4 square root of 6.
So I'm not going to do it again. From earlier we did square root of 32, it was 4 square root of 2. So what's the square root of x squared though? X, yeah. Remember you do basically 2 divided by 2 is 1, so it's just x to the 1. It's just x. So
So it's like
we have a 4 square root of 2 and an x. The x is on the outside though, so it'll be 4x square root of 2. Can I do anything with the middle term? No. Square root of 2 does not simplify, so I'll just leave that alone for now. 18. Stuff goes into that. 18 is 3 square root of 2. But what's the square root of x squared? It's x again. So instead of 3 square root of 2, it's 3x square root of 2. Are these all like terms?
Yeah.
Yes. They are all x square root of 2's. We have 4 of them. We have minus, no number right there, minus 1 of them, plus 3 of them. So 4 minus 1 is 3, plus 3 is 6. We have 6 x square root of 2's. Got farther than I thought we would. I always assume we'll start this class like 10 minutes late. 25. Same. Yeah, it's a little bit different actually. Before we do 25, do you think what do you think? Does this simplify or not?
No.
No.
Yeah, if you said no, you were correct. Because whatever square root of 2 is, it's not going to be the same thing as cube root of 2. So this does not simplify at all. So if you have different roots, it doesn't work. Just got to keep that in mind for 25. Okay, 5th root. Kind of getting messy. When you get up into the cube roots and the 5th roots, even the nice calculators can't do it. So, it's good to be able to do stuff guess.
Do you have any extra calculators?
Possible, you can check. Oh yeah, there's a white one behind Justice. Justice, you wanna pass that one out? Okay, does fifth root of 12 simplify? For a fifth root to simplify, you need to have 5 of something that goes into the number. Do 5 somethings go into 12? No, 12 is basically 2 times 2 times 3. There's not 5 of anything in that, not even close. So fifth root of 12, square root of 12 simplifies, but fifth root of 12 does not. Okay, Craig, you were gone for this, but on Monday, you guys remember how we did the 8 of the fifth root of 8 to the 6?
Yeah, 5 goes into 6.
We did 6 divided by 5. And that's 1 with the remainder of 1. So what that turned out being, what that meant was a to the 1 is on the outside and a to the 1 is on the inside. So 12 is not going anywhere, but 1a escapes, 1a is left behind. Whoops, I should have put the 12 in there, my bad. Alright, do we have enough b's for the b to get out?
No.
No. Yeah, 1 divided by 5 is remainder of 1. So the b is still stuck in there too. I should have put that a way up there, I guess. So that's the first term. Let's get rid of that. One step at a time. Okay. Didn't do much with it, did we? Can we simplify cube root of 6? No, you'd have to have 3 of something for that to work, and there's not even 2 of something in 6. So cube root of 6 doesn't simplify. How about the a's?
Yes.
4 divided by 3 is 1 with the remainder of 1 again. So that means 1a escapes, 1a is left behind. Kind of like this. So 1a escapes, 1a is left behind. 6 is left behind also. And looks like the b is going to be left behind again because there's not enough to get out. There's not 3 of them. So it's going to stay. And then, okay, the last one. Does fifth root of 12 simplify? No, just like over here. It didn't simplify. Does fifth root of a, fifth root of b simplify? No. So we can't really do anything with that one. Okay, do I have any like terms?
Yes.
Yeah, are they all like terms?
No.
No, this one is a cubed root, so it gets disqualified, but these two are the same. What's that and that put together make?
0.
0. Because we have, basically we have one of those, 1a, blah, blah, blah. So all of this is the term, like we got 1 of all this stuff, and minus 1 of all that stuff. So that's 0. So my final answer is just the middle term. That was a doozy. You guys feel smart?
No, this is making me feel dumb. My confidence in math is
You
shattered.
guys are like, you're in the high levels. This is as high as some people go, Algebra 2. You're in the big leagues now.
I don't want to.
I go back.
Thank you.
Can I go back?
David, at this point, I don't think you have a choice.
To go back? Wait.
You're gonna have to take this class again, that's what I'm telling you.
See, this is why I'm literally retarded.
He's not. You can ask him for help, he's good.
I'm stupid. Don't even remember your name.
Yeah.
You called him Craig earlier, I don't think he believed in me.
called him Greg.
Where am I looking at? Last one on weekends. Did I tell you guys it's a 2-day assignment already?
Yeah.
No.
Did you?
Yeah,
Oh, it was the Wednesday.
you're probably. Because it's Wednesday. Well, not just because it's Wednesday. Sometimes we still do something different, but we are going to do the evens tomorrow. Okay, 20 set, last of the odds here. Cube root of x to the 4th, y squared, z to the 5th. I think I didn't write that right. x4, y2, z5. Okay, that's right. Plus minus x cubed root. Looks about as messy as the last problem. There's no numbers on this one. That might make it a little bit easier. Although we didn't really do anything with the numbers in the last problem. Anyway, can we simplify the x's? Yeah, 4 divided by 3 is 1 with the remainder of 1. So 1x comes out, 1x is left behind. Can we simplify the y's? No, 2 divided by 3, that's too big for the, 3 is too big for the 2, so y squared stays behind. Okay, the z's, what's 5 divided by 3? 1 z with remainder of 2. Bad ideas are happening over here.
Those are actually good ideas. We should do that too, honestly.
What did he say?
He said we should do something, we go watch Emmanuel Lutheran versus somebody.
More Christian.
Oh yeah. Wait, that's, the tournament starts today? Oh, they're talking about tomorrow.
They're planning for tomorrow. So we should do the same thing as that.
Especially if we get through this assignment. Since
See,
we
like-
made it today.
If you're
I only
done,
have 4 questions. But I'm getting tested
Why?
3 hours.
I don't think that's gonna happen. If you all get done with the assignment,
yeah,
that could happen, but
that's
Nick's
fine.
gonna cost
what are
me.
the odds on that?
Bro, just kidding. Come on now. Call me out like that.
We should all stare at Nick tomorrow while he finishes his work.
Bro, I'm not going to finish if that happens.
Like gather around in a circle and like stare at you. That sound
It's
like
hard
fun?
enough with the cow herder behind me going, oh, you're so bad at math. Ooh."
She's not here today.
I know.
This week.
Hallelujah.
Anything he's got
Cow
work
herder.
done.
Okay, looks like the X's are as simple as they're gonna get on this one, so we'll leave those alone. Can I do anything with the Y's or Z's?
No.
No, so I'm not really gonna touch the middle term. I didn't leave myself enough for scooch over. No. Everything gonna make life difficult. All right. Can I do anything on this one? Any of these simplify?
Z.
Yeah. 1 divided by 3, no, that doesn't work. 2 divided by 3, no. 5 divided by 3 is 1 with the remainder of 2. We did that one on this one. So, besides that x out here, we're going to have 1z come out with a remainder of 2. Let's go ahead and finish. We're like 10 seconds away here. Are any of these like terms?
Um,
All
yes.
Yeah, yeah,
The first and last.
The first and the last. What's different about the middle term?
I have
It's
no idea.
it doesn't have a Z.
Doesn't have a Z right there, so it's not like term. So we have, what happens with these two?
they combine, or you subtract.
Yeah,
Oh,
one
this
of
is-
them minus one of them is 0. It's kind of like the last problem. Isn't it? So only the middle term remains.
I'll do it.
You're not a fan of this assignment?
What do we do?
You can do the